That's from my little beloved Aleksandria, who is now actually 13 years old, almost 14 years old. She's another little, she's a young lady. Oh, baby girl. I'm recording this video because I've done them before, and I have faith that the universe is keeping us connected. I have faith that whether you see this video now or later, that the energy is coming to you by actively putting it into the ether, that you'll receive my love and my hug and my snuggle, my smile, my love, my energy, my essence, the essence you come from. What kind of a terrible world is this? We always talked about changing the world together, and we are still going to do that. Right? The world I was living in before this happened needed change, but it's gotten out of control. I can't even imagine what you're going through, honey. I mean, let's just talk about it on its face here for all the other interested parties that'll be taking a gander at what information I put online so they can try to disseminate me and frame me and slander me and frame me, scapegoat on me. I don't know what the problem with the world is today, but it's got a problem with mothers. And the big problem seems to be that man doesn't like it when he's not able to win. He doesn't like it when he's not able to compete and win something. That's his deal, mankind. We don't think like that. Not whatsoever. But love has been missing from the picture for thousands of years because of that. I don't know what religion they've got you studying, but they just violated us on every single level. Your and my home together. This is coming up because of the Roe versus Wade change of, ruling with abortions. The smoke and mirror campaign is, they're trying to act like, they want to preserve life, while the other guys are trying to act like they're trying to preserve choice. And neither of them are trying to come up with a solution for the problem, which is unintended pregnancies. Like you, Alec. I got pregnant with your dad after I knew him for a month. And then within a month after that, he was threatening to call the police if I didn't leave in an hour because I asked him why he was gone for so long at the gym. Yeah, it's someone that's got something to hide and can't have anybody interfering with whatever they're doing out there and coming back all paranoid that someone's out to get him or he's gonna get caught for whatever he just did. So I had an unintended pregnancy with a man I didn't know, but I had already had a couple abortions and I wasn't going to do that again. I was 30 years old and I committed to having you with every part of my being. I wasn't worried about Jorge. I wasn't worried about needing his help. I wasn't ever planning on, not allowing him to be the father of you, but I just never planned it based on what he did since the get-go. Him and I were never going to be a romantic thing. We were never going to be a family. And that should have been solidified right away. You're the father that gets to be over there a father. You can participate. You can call her on the phone. You can come by and spend some time and have her on weekends and things, as long as you're a good guy. But you're not going to be having this carrot you can dangle over my head to take my life away and my child's life away. And that's what we were in fear of. Alec. Yeah. But you were in fear of it more because you knew more about what was going on and I wasn't catching on quick enough. Well, I caught on. I know your drawings, pixel by pixel, every single one of them. And I found evidence of, well, because everything, I'm so connected to you. I mean, those drawings that you left told me everything I needed to know. And also left me some clues for things that I could see were clues so that you could still communicate your side of things. And what's even the most sick and twisted is that they gave me the box of those drawings. They knew they knew exactly what they were providing me. It was to harass my mind, to harass the situation, just like everything they do is to harass, to punish, to control, to commit violence and fear and threats. Stealing, it's all crimes. It's all crimes. It's robbery, extortion, larceny. It's everything. Fraud, perjury, manipulation of photographs to phony baloney up some evidence for some. The claims that are made are not even sensical. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's a corruption. It's a miscarriage of justice, what happened. There's no laws that support it. So that's why I've been stalked to death by the street squad of harassers and thugs and whatnot, to the point where I had to leave California for my own safety. I had gotten a job at the 99-cent store. I know it doesn't sound very good. I've got a career in mortgage lending, but I was homeless. Had to leave. I was getting harassed and stalked. The police there, they were colluding with the dirty court, the dirty attorneys, because there's something going on, some kind of racket. Is it just a family court racket? Probably not. No. The big bad dad didn't participate in this and wears black and blue to court for no reason. Just like in the drawings. Yeah. I got him on scope. And that's what makes me terrified about what you're going through. I'm surrounded still by the street squad. I was taken to Arizona, invited by a friend of mine from high school. I didn't understand why he was reaching out to me. Now I know. It's because he was recruited by the RICO cartel to bring me there to try to prevent me from getting back to court to argue or something. I was planning on getting back to court, but I wasn't planning on taking their charges and doing there's no way I can do a domestic violence class because you have to write a letter to your victim and say how you're never going to, your game plan on how you're never going to commit violence again. Well, when you don't commit violence, then you can't take that class because that's defrauding yourself. But for some reason, the Los Angeles database shows that class completed. More fraud. And over 5 years of kidnapping and concealing my child from me, the second you stole her without lawful authority. Yeah, you didn't have a lawful authority. You're not allowed to change child custody orders that were made less than 6 months prior with the mediator. That's a specific rule. No ex parte orders less than 6 months after it's already been mediated. A. B. Fill out the application all the way. C. You have to make a showing of an emergency immediate harm, which requires like hospital visits and violence reports with cops, and you have to have evidence of an actual immediate harm. Because see, she was seen by mandated reporters on a daily basis, like 8 to 10 of them between her school and her after school, since she was 2 years old. There wasn't any mandated reports against me. Matter of fact, the CPS, because of your false claims and trying to get me in trouble, caused them to also do an investigation on you. And they issued you a general neglect. Right then, September of 2016. They knew about the situation that I was doing at home, but you want to know what? You know why I was doing that. You know that you meddled with my emails. You know that you meddled with my communications. You know you did. And I'm putting this on the record just in case I die tomorrow. I want Aleksandria to know the truth. Not like she wouldn't already be able to sense it for herself. But who knows what you've been feeding her brain for over 5 years. I know that immediately you were capable of getting her to not say I love you. You're sick and twisted, mentally ill. And it's not against the law to put my feelings and to put my emotions out there on the internet, to vent my feelings. I haven't said who you are, and it's public records anyway. The The point I'm making is this has nothing to do with harassing you. This has nothing to do with disseminating you. You have committed so many crimes, so much torture, so much violence for so long that literally the charges are going to amount to $100 million, and you're going to be sentenced to like 10 life sentences. What makes a criminal think they're going to get away with it? I don't know. They're delusional. Not my problem. I didn't have a felony record. I didn't have anything. I was getting my notary public commission. I had my credit was clean. Yeah, good credit score, clean credit, clean record. FBI background check had just been done because I getting my notary public. You just wanted to assault me because you know you're a creep and you're a loser. And you wanted me, you said it, you'll slay me in court. That's what she said when she was 18 months old. And you've continued with that vengeance to make sure you slay me, not just like slay me in court, but cause the effect of my murder, loss of life thoroughly. That's what you're after. That's sick and disgusting. Don't you have better things to do? Don't you have other kids to tend to? No, you're obsessed. You're full of possessive control issues. No, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Worldwide. All the news is full of, you haven't even called me back. I've been trying to call you. You won't answer my calls. Because what, you think you're allowed to do this? Oh, well, no. You're going to get 10 life sentences. Yeah, swear to God. COVID? Yeah, no call. CRT? You think, and you just want to kick me out? Wow, let me tell you something. Hey, women. Hey, mothers. And any father that gives a damn. Listen to this. Even though this scientific argument stuff, offensive behavior stuff, like the narcissist that, they got to accuse you of what they're guilty of, and they do it first so that way they get the upper hand. Or they get out of it. That's their trick. So that's what you got to look for. You got to look at the accusations they make. The accusations that they make, or they're pointing them right back at themselves. Which indicates very scary, very horrifying foul play things. And that's also in the news. Human trafficking, child sex trafficking, child sex exploitation. People pay to play. It's going on everywhere. And I'm just supposed to not be worried to death? Why would somebody conceal a child for this long? Why would somebody terrify a child from saying I love you to her mom? Is it because your wife is a psychopath too? And she's got control issues and she thinks she gets to be the new mommy? Hey, I got a question for you. When did you meet Jessica? Huh? When did you meet her? Did you meet her when you started your cell phone business right around the time Alec was born? Because you got a business like an hour away from your mom's place. Did you meet Jessica down there? Because she lives in the same area that you had your business off of Garvey. Something like that. Well, they got a motel over there that you guys hang out at anyway. So is that what it is? Because then maybe because I let you come to Seal Beach for 9 months until you screwed that up with immediately attempting to call the police on me again, because your pattern was to just lodge false records until, bing, it's done baking in the oven and you can go execute your slaying of me. But did that upset her? Is that why she's got a vendetta against me? What's her problem? So, hey, courts, let me talk to you about this for a second. These mediators, the judges, they've all got the shtick. The shtick of what to say is the issue. The shtick of what to put in the notes. The shtick of what to ignore. And how to get away with it by not doing this, not doing that. Listen, they didn't do anything. Everybody's fired. Everybody's fired for what they've done. I mean, it's so unconscionable. This guy, he's got 3 felonies from Utah that when you get to California, they attach to you. So isn't that like the 3 strikes law? He already came with him, walking in. Okay, I don't have a criminal record. Did the judge? No. Did the judge know that even in the family code, you're not allowed to have a kid in your car if you're a felon? Yep, guess the judge didn't think about that. Yeah, guess not. Didn't check his record for domestic violence here or California or Oregon or Utah or anywhere, huh? He's been a busy guy. He gets around. He's got another wife in Utah. Yeah, that's right. And it's true. His family they look really young because his identity over there is like 10 years older. What's the real truth? I don't really care. I just want to get to the bottom of how to get my daughter back and how to get you to leave us alone for the rest of your life. I mean, if Alec wants to have anything to do with you, that's her choice. But you have absolutely violated us to the umpteenth extent. You've been brainwashing her. You've been just taking her and I apart from one another was violence in and of itself. That wasn't loving her. She told you she was scared of your wife, and she said you won't do anything about it. And all you do is browbeat her. Your mom told you to say that, didn't she? Tell me the truth. Your mother, that's brainwashing. You're trying to coach her into agreeing with you. How sickening is that? That's mental illness. So, Aleksandria, first and foremost, know that I did everything I could. I put it all on the line because I have the truth, and what they're doing is not supposed to happen. It certainly, in my mind, was going to be fixed any day now. But that's because it's a miscarriage of justice. It was intentionally corrupted. It was bought off extortion and larceny since the beginning. And I am not an attorney. And they blindsided me with illegal assault. Bam, 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 bam. So fast you can't stand up or know what you're doing, and you don't have the time to da-da-da-da-da-da. Then the next year after that, after getting my car repossessed and then being evicted, then they chased me down and to get me into jail so they could try to get fake records to make it look like I'm actually violent or a criminal. They had to falsify generating those false claims, false records, false arrest, false imprisonment. Almost died on my way back to Thousand Oaks from there twice. That's what they had to do. That's how disgusting their crime is. There's no reason to be assaulting us. So then why are they doing it? Money? Some form of money? Some form of control? Some form of punishment and vengeance? That's all it is. Your sickness. And Aleksandria is the love of my life. So now I'm going to talk about her and I, and you can go away, Mr. Voyeur, stalker, harasser, hacker, thief, robber, weirdo, mental, psycho, path. Out of here. Alec. School. God. Are you in high school like next year, this year? This is just terrifying. I don't even... Boys, periods, makeup. The friends that you have ripped from Thousand Oaks and the neighborhood you lived in since you were 2 with all your friends. Never to go home again. What an asshole. Never to pet your cats, never to hug your mom. Who does that? A mentally ill person. Or a criminal who's employed by a RICO cartel that's procuring children for certain purposes, which makes me sick to my stomach, makes me feel very infuriated, and makes me absolutely just outside of my mind. Because I don't know right now where you are, what your condition is. This guy wants me to fall off the face of the earth or die already, and that's just not going to work. It's not going to work with the situation. I will manifest God coming down from heaven itself, specifically to help us. That's what I will manifest. And this world is full of them. Weirdo, creep, criminals. Mother and child, we have the true covenant of God. That's the true covenant. The true marriage is not a marriage. It's a covenant between mother and child. Protection and love and foreverness. That's what you do, that death won't even part you. That's the type of covenant. People don't even respect marriage these days. No. That's because the covenant's supposed to be between a mother and a child. And the man guy is not going to interfere or invade. But they made us, the slaves, women, of man right away. We were the first slave, women. We still are. They don't even think twice about it. They're like, what? Who? Who's the first slave? Women. Oh, women. Yeah, that's right. Oh, no. They think they belong to them. Children, women, the whole 9 yards. It's disgusting. Because the way that it was meant to be is women, there's no need. We can gather our own wood, gather our own water, gather our own eggs or whatever. No, they just want to control everything because they feel inferior. And it's gross. There's good men out there, though. But, you know, they're just far and few between. And I was the most amicable and cool mom and co-parent to him. I helped him when he needed it. I followed all the court orders, which is why we were vulnerable. They forced us into letting him have joint custody after he abducted you for 34 days when he just started visiting you when you were 5 years old. What a creep. Who does that? Who tries to take the kid from their mommy? Like, immediately. That's what he did in Seal Beach. It's a cartel. It's a RICO cartel. This is a method of how to steal children. You intentionally impregnate a stranger that you target for some reason or another, and then you start assaulting them with complaints to the police to lodge false records so that way it can become ambiguous. And you just escalate matters until you can get custody of the kids by accusing her of something that she can't get out of or whatever. It's disgusting. I don't understand why these people don't shoot high enough in their own mental awareness to think that they deserve better for themselves than to lower themselves to such, such tactics, such, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. And I'm not going to worry about trying to be honest. I think that it takes more effort to be hateful than it takes to be loving. Don't you, honey? I mean, loving people is easy. It comes naturally. Hate takes effort and having to take yourself out of your good mood to go into a frustrated mood and an obsessed mood and all these other crazy, creepy things. So it takes a lot of energy to continue having hate or to continue hacking someone or trying to find more things about them or trying to lodge more false things about them or just trying to frame them. Must have a lot to hide. Mm-hmm. So you assaulted my career. Why? Did it make you inferior because I made more money than you? What? I wouldn't have put child support on you if you didn't come over at 9 o'clock at night to give me $5 and accuse me of having men in my place, like all your claims said. You're delusional, and I know that you're delusional. You're a compulsive liar. You believe your lies. You tell yourself the version that works for your mind, and then you believe it. That's why you literally believe, and you're like, what are you talking about? You're delusional. Yeah, you'd come over and be like, I've never had anybody in my place. I love my child. My child and my home is a sanctuary. I don't want any strangers in my house. Don't think like you. I don't think like you or any of the girls that you know clearly. Apparently the women that you know and hang around are total creeps and losers too. Not me. Wanted to get back into smoking pot, drinking alcohol, wants to sleep with men. Nope, these are all just his own fantasy fabrications. Fabricated. Him and his wife made fabricated statements. They manipulated photos that I have a picture of the pimple she came home with because you forced her to drink from Jessica's bottles of water and she clearly has herpes on her mouth. Yeah, you made it look like it was a bruise, like she got beat. Yeah, you're that kind of a fraudster. Not even a good one. So what have you been doing to my daughter? She said she slept in the garage. You guys locked the door from the outside. That's disgusting. You've got her in there like a slave, like a slave child that gets to come out. Like, does she have to knock on the door and ask you to open it because she's got to go to the bathroom? Christina's mom says she doesn't talk to her daughter anymore. What'd you do? Brainwash her? Or send in a thug to marry her and now she's just one of the thug's wives? Is that what you figure? You'll get them. I'll show Kim. After I abandon my daughter, I will get her back from Kim. That's like creepy stuff. Don't you know what amicable is? Like how to get along with people? Like if you're just out there trying to harm everybody every day, everywhere, for every reason, you can't be enjoying yourself. And that's all you ever did was sit around with a checked out smile on your face, staring at your phone. That's because there wasn't much going on up there, or there was a whole lot going on up there that you could never just voice. So you just had to pretend. And yep. But normal people get along with others. It's the way that society works. But maybe you're not familiar with what's not a thug life. Don't know. You're a thief. You're a criminal. And you need help. The kind that you can't manipulate. The kind where you're not just going there to learn how to manipulate them. You literally need help. Like, and the thing is that whoever it is you're working for, you said my family has money and I'll slave in court. Well, that was interesting because I remember going to your mom's house and it was just like, just a little old lady, just has to pay her propane bill and her mortgage bill, just pull the dollars together. What family are you talking about? My family? Were you talking about the Moores? Or someone else? It's all that behavioral health stuff, huh? You got your certification for a drug counselor? That's so that you can cover up your addiction? Is that what it is? Yeah, you try to keep painting me out to be a drug addict, alcoholic, whore. That's because that's how you feel about yourself. Sorry, Alec. I keep getting off topic because I feel like I just want to vent so bad. But I'm going to change the subject because I get to. The violence has been terrible and torturous. And it just needs to be said. It needs to be stated. It needs to be acknowledged right here, right now. There is no way of turning it around. And like Jorge kept trying to do. I'm just trying to talk about, just don't talk about court matters. Okay, first of all, you just kidnapped my child from the home she's lived in with me all her life, her school, her friends, her neighborhood. She actually likes it there. We live in a nice town, not where there's gang violence and shooting at night, first of all. To go to a strange school, doesn't even have any clothes, doesn't even have a change of clothes, doesn't have a teddy bear, doesn't have anything from her home. That's evil. And then you're going to call talking about my daughter coming home as court matters? Well, that's a typical frickin' man. Yeah, he's not connected to his children. In his mind, children are only court matters. Well, to a mother, children are children, and the court can suck a dick. Court is not my master. That's my baby, and I built her, and God gave me that right. So you're messing with God, Jorge. You and your wife. You guys messed with the wrong mother, too. You guys messed with God. And that's why you guys are so balls to the wall. You're just like those Democrats out there right now. Crazy people. Insane. Balls to the wall. Fuck it. They're in a case of the fuckets. Yep. You're all out of your minds. But it won't be lasting for much longer. My instincts tell me that. Somehow you got my whole entire family to not even care about what happened to Alec and I. Don't know how you did that. But I'll get to the bottom of it all right. And just in case your cartel wants to know, you're the one that left the information that led me right to you. Just so you know. He screwed it up for you guys himself. Yeah. He's terrible. He's a terrible criminal. He's a terrible criminal. He's probably a really good criminal, but not a good, and I'm sure that that's part of your shtick, is that you want to give away those clues. You want to harass me mentally. But, yeah, you were the one that left the information that led me directly to you guys' little operation. Big operation, actually. Animals. Do you have a cat? I want a cat so bad. I miss our cats. I love them. They got lost one at a time. This creep that they sent in to have imprisoned me and harass me and lodge false records against me and prevent me from getting to court. He let Sylvia out of the car. She got gone. And then Koi Koi got lost in Annie Shell's neighborhood. I went over there to ask her for money for cat food. And she acted like, gotta go, or I'm gonna call the cops. What are you guys talking about? What did Jorge tell you guys? My mom did the same thing right when this happened. What did Jorge? We didn't hear anything. We don't know anything. No, everybody's behavior has been all the same, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm not falling for any of it. My child is 7.5 years old, and now she's almost 14 years old. She's had to go about every single day, every single season, summertime, wintertime, springtime, fall, without me. Birthdays, Mother's Day, Christmas, without me calling her, getting to talk to her, You never let us have a minute together. When you visited with her, you never let us talk to each other. That's why the court is so fired. What is it with you? Are you just that controlling, that possessive? It's because you know you've got that much guilt that can be told on if you don't keep her like a slave. That's right. She fits the definition of being human trafficked right now. Held, isolated, concealed, kept from, changed her name, probably changed her looks. Sick. Who does that? Only creep weirdos. Only career criminals. Only witches and warlocks that wear stupid outfits and believe in low-level frequencies. They don't think highly of themselves enough to shoot higher than the sludge. Yeah, that's right. They'll never be the phoenix out of the flame. The second they come out of the dirt, they stick around. They're all, yeah, this is it. Luxury, man. We're all, oh, God. The pig pen. That's what it feels like. When I reached out to your sister 6 months after she was kidnapped, I said, hey, girl, we've done Christmas together. Like, you're like a sister. Like, why is it you and your teacher? Why are you not trying to keep my and Alex relationship like it's supposed to be? Like the training I'm sure you've been given since you're a teacher of children, whatever age. You know, we're all mandated reporters, you know. How come you're not trying to do that? And she basically said to me, you're digging yourself a grave you might not get out of. Well, geez, that's not normal conversation for normal people. That's like thug talk. That's like mob talk. That's like mafia boss cartel Rico stuff. Creepy. Very, very creepy. I'm not even going to worry about it. Do you get to dance? Sing? Do you have any best friends? Do you get to go on sleepovers? Do you ever get to go outside the house? How's your schoolwork doing? I miss you so much. Just saying goodnight to you and making sure you fall asleep peacefully. Just making sure you have everything you need. Making sure your smile is on your face. We would tell each other I love you 100 million times a day. And blow each other strawberry chocolate kisses. We're so close. We had such a nice house. And I didn't screw up my situation with my employment and my career. I didn't. Malfeasance took place. Hacking and or identity theft and or malicious false claims or reporting. He always would say, I'm going to call Bank of America and tell them you're smoking pot. Who does that? Especially someone who's been to prison for armed robbery. Like, why are you so full of yourself that you think you're allowed to be like high and mighty and better than everybody? That's how you've been behaving. Like you're better than everybody. But you've got 3 felonies, armed robbery. You've got other shit going. You've got other shit from Oregon. You've got a second wife. You don't look very good on paper, buddy. Where do you get off being so high and mighty? It's disgusting. So I didn't ruin my career. You did. You guys added a freaking Google Voice number to my Gmail account. Straight stalking. Yeah, that's right. That's why you had to come up with all these pretend things in your submission to court. Because you couldn't let them in on the fact that you've been surveilling me, hacking, and harassing me the whole time. Yeah. And you think you're a cool guy, huh? The truth of the matter is that you don't know how to be a cool guy in the first place. You wouldn't know the first thing about it. You wouldn't know the first thing about being an actual cool guy. Because you're fake. And I guarantee you, when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's more delusional, mental weirdness. And I felt bad for you until you kidnapped my child, and that I was good to you for over 8 years in an amicable, helpful, kind, and encouraging way. And for you to do us wrong just goes to show how low you are. How much trouble you've gone to just, destroy Alec and I? Is that what makes you feel good? To destroy your innocent child's heart and soul? Break her spirit? You want to break... Do you like to break the spirit of young children? That sounds pedophiliac. Sounds pedophilial. Someone who's got some weird affliction towards children. But because I can already tell that you don't mind trying to break the spirit of a woman. Well, what is it? Is it because of your Hispanic origin that you feel like you're able to possess the woman who has a child of yours? Even it's not. Yeah. But that's why you were threatening to kick me out in the beginning. Because why you still felt entitled to it? Because you're entitled. You're an entitled person. Well, you don't get to be entitled. You don't get to be entitled to it at all. And the whole world is going to change because of this case. Yep, that's right. So, in a weird way, the world going to be able to say thank you here in the near future. Yeah, thank you for being such an asshole. You caused the world to change. Or you caused the world to have to change. Where'd it go? So, look, hold on a second. Oh, I swear to God. Oh, yeah, it's something. I just can't believe it. But it is what it is. Oh, there it is. Anyway. Yeah, I got a call. No. I got a newsletter on my email. It was the attorney people that help those mothers get those lost children back. And I'm like, whoa, it's like talking my language. It's saying exactly what my situation is. Wow, who is this wonderful organization? Turns out she was just trying to harass me like the cartel would do too. Trying to insinuate this, that, then extort $5,000 and $1,500 more and this, that, and the other. And all I could say is it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. It's nonstop. Hate. It's hate. It's inferiority. It's ego. It's like that violent mental pattern, narcissism. It's the cycle of abuse being continued. And the only feeling that you can get from it is that these people who commit crimes like this are not happy with themselves. They're never happy. They're not going to get happy from, even when they win what they think they're winning. They can't be satisfied. They're trying to find something to make them feel better, and they keep searching for evil. That's never going to work. So, Aleksandria, when I had you, I knew that I had a spiritual experience. And it showed me oh my God, she is my Lord. She is the one I honor. She is the one that I would, I don't even like that word worship, when they try to make it sound like people worship and do weird things. God wouldn't ask for that type of stuff. But I understood it in a way of loving you so much, and you're so innocent and so precious and so spectacularly sweet and smiley and adorable and funny and cute and silly and talented and smart and curious and sweet. Did I say that? And funny and talented and loving. You're the most kind person I've ever met. I swear to God. I swear to God, the most kindest person I've ever met. So that's what I learned when I had you. And you know, it's been showing up. So I was singing a song, and it's like in a prayer type of a way, you know, the universe. And I asked for a galactic Uber to show up so I could go pick you up with some tough guys that you don't mess with from up there. And I went outside. It was like around the solstice of December, and the clouds were really low and foggy, and I got to like touch the mist of it. It was really neat. And ever since that night, I've been able to like interact with the sky, the clouds, the weather, if you will, the wind. It's been peaceful to be able to take pictures and take my mind off of such stressful things with something peaceful and productive. But the point I'm making is, when this happened, I had a vision, like an inner knowing type visual, that the situation was, you know, gonna like down the road, there was going to be a court case, and we'll win. I had in the vision we win in the court case, but it was a little bit down the road from over 5 years ago. And after I started interacting with the sky and also understanding the way the computer works, and I have been, maybe I could say, spiritually led, instinctually spiritually led to study certain aspects of the Bible or scripture, and, you know, compare it to what my instincts have told me all along. And it's really interesting because regardless of whether it's like this for everyone or if it's supposed to be like this for everyone, where I believe we're supposed to see ourselves in the story and see ourselves as the hero of our own story. And that's the kind of spiritual encouragement that can work for me. And I had no idea that I would find it in the Bible talking about this covenant between a mother and child. And in fact, in the story in Isaiah, it talks about the daughters of Zion, Zion and New Jerusalem. And it talks about it like this daughter of Zion, like wakes up as if out of a stupor and threshes, like, you know, she had been patient, she had been waiting, she had paused, like I have had to. And then at some point it snaps into gear, or something, you know, something shifts, something happens that causes her to wake up and go, okay, no, and threshes the nations, and in fact restores the two of them. And this is a fable, I guess, or a story included in many different cultures, ancient scripts, texts. There's Greek stories, there's Hebrew stories, there's Egyptian stories, there's Scottish stories, and they all happen to have similar characters / storylines. And this is one that's in the Bible too. This is the daughter of Zion, New Jerusalem, and it says it. That blew my mind, because I was like, wow, it really gave me hope, because here I am seeing what I need to happen for us being described in the Bible. And I needed to see that, just to be like, yeah, you know what, we got this. Like, I shouldn't feel hopeless and cornered and isolated and held up against the wall. I'm still alive. And I pray to God that you are too, my love. There's CRT, they've got transgender stuff, they've got so much going on. You need me. And there's kids committing suicide all over the place. Their parents don't care. How can 17 million children a year go missing or die under the age of 5 due to preventable causes? This world wants money, and that's the problem. It's because it's ran by men, and men want egos, narcissism, and harlot spirits. That's over. So whether or not it comes true, in some way, shape, or form, I already know it will. Because I'll be happy enough with you back in my arms, them securely behind bars or wherever they need to put you to keep us safe from you and the rest of the world safe from you. And as long as I get you back, I'm not going to ask for more. Proverbially speaking, because technically I'm the kind of person that will thresh and is cognizant of the games that they're playing and just need to get my bearings and a couple dollars in my pocket to get some assistance to get some of the legwork of the law stuff done. It's just very exhaustive. And I, but as far as taking on the cases to prosecute everybody, and that's what I would love to do. Prosecute everybody for all their violations of crimes against humanity. I don't plan on hanging them, but I do believe that this world is falling apart faster than we even realize. And it's going to take something drastic to change it from this war-fighting G.I. Joe brats, boys. And by the way, you only call someone a brat when they're like an adult acting like a child. Mr. False Claims. But anyway, those are like war-fighting brat G.I. Joe boys down the street that don't want to stop playing the game or something. That's gross. So gross, everything that they're justifying. They're limiting themselves from advancing in technology because they want to penny pinch us so bad. All I can say is it just doesn't look very good for. It doesn't look very good for the darkness. The darkness needs to know that we've entered the light, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what's going on. So get used to it. Now here's the caveat. You're supposed to be a normal human being, sir. You're supposed to pull your head out of your ass and go, you know what? I kind of have been a little bit of a selfish ass. I kind of had been controlling and paranoid and vengeful. Maybe I should try this other approach, which is call Allison, apologize, drive Aleksandria to her, and ask if she could ever forgive me for being an ass. Well, I'd say you'd be starting in a good place if you're capable of looking me in the eyes and actually meaning it. But you never know. If you can actually pull off making me feel like you actually mean it and you're not going to try to murder us tomorrow or from behind closed windows in the shadows. If I can get that energy from you, that'd be great. I'd love to feel like we don't have to keep going through this court nonsense because they're corrupt. I don't want to have a thing to do with them. So that's probably why you'll keep doing it. Because you know that I can't stand it. Not normal. Don't you have better things to do? Don't you want to just enjoy your day? Peaceful? Well, I know that because you didn't raise you didn't build Alec. And she didn't live with you all of her life. Is why you and her were not connected and bonded like her and I. What you did to her and I was murder us. You murdered us that day. And we're just lucky to still be alive. And I will technically prosecute you for murder. That's the court that I'm going to hold. Yeah, that's right. If you to effect the loss of a life and livelihood, that's murder. And now you can pay me $100 million and then I'll go see if I can get my life back. If I can resurrect myself from the dead. My cats, Sylvester I was told by the neighbor that it was killed mutilated ritual style on Halloween. And then you ended up with a cat the same name. And then the uncle had a cat that looked identical and had the same name as the other cat of ours that got stolen. You know, psychopaths start with animals. Oh, God, I just can't stand it. Sorry, Alec. I'm really hoping that I can get through to this guy and have him just snap out of it. It doesn't make any sense. But then again, I don't understand mental people or pedophiles or business money men that'll do anything for money. I don't understand. And I never will. And I'll never advocate for letting someone violate us. When I came to Las Vegas thinking my family would help, and I was utterly surprised when they just mimicked the same bullshit nonsense through the mouths of the harlots. Step women, the stepmothers and the second wives and such just pervade the hate. They tried to have me hospitalized, yada, yada. Someone tried to traffic me. I was able to get out of that. Again, I said, I'm lucky to be alive. It's tried to kill me many times. But that's nothing. It's not about me. It's about everything you've been through and what you need. And the short piece of childhood you have left, you should be able to enjoy. Without looking over your shoulder for Mr. Intimidator. That's disgusting. And we're going to prosecute this so that way mothers don't ever have to worry about losing custody, because it's not an equal thing. And if you want to be a father so bad, then don't have sex with a woman until you marry her. I think that the girls are going to need to put IUDs in them so that way we can remove the incentive of you human traffickers from intentionally impregnating us. Because that's what you guys do. You see it as control. You see it as slaves you get, money, violence. It's all the things you guys get high off of. No, we're going to take that away. No one's going to have sex anymore. How do you like that? I wish I could. I wish I could tell the women, stop, turn off the sex for 3 months. Well, let's see what happens. Men will murder women. They'll all turn into rapists, probably. But mothers should never have to worry about losing custody. If a mother needs training or assistance or anything like that, there'll be a method for that. I've also got a method to pay us all so that this money game can go away. I've also got a method to get us all on real time so we can actually start using real scientific data, not false observations and false curated APIs. False fabricated science jargon to try to say things in other ways. Definitely man science, not smart science. And I'm allowed to knock it because I'm talking in factual things that are assaulting Alec and I right now. I found the genetic profile. I mean, I was brought to it by the intelligence. Yep. I see where it's been surveilling us. I see where it's been assaulting us to see what happens to our sequences. That's also against the law. Yep. 214 patents, most of them owned by China. What are you doing over there with my daughter? Why'd you have to take her from me? Because you knew I wouldn't take her to the medical clinics to get experimented on? So that she couldn't tell on you for whatever it is she's waking up having medicine in her mouth? Or acting like an animal? Or having to walk all night long? Or $1,000 per person per dad? Sickening. Twisted. Evil. Lowlives. And the courts, they don't care about children. They want to make money too. Like those midwives, your attorney and the mediator. What are you guys, birthing babies underground? Because you can't take them to the hospital? What kind of operation you got over here in Vegas? Probably something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. So, hey, boss man, his boss man, because you know there is one. Do you have any dignity? Or integrity? How about self-respect? In my opinion, you should let this guy lie in his bed. If I'm capable of prosecuting this guy to get in trouble like he's supposed to, let it be. Don't help him out of it. You don't have to. Because there's going to come a day here in the very near future where everyone's going to be placed under judgment. It's going to be more accurately like an evaluation and an opportunity for everyone to come clean and promise what they want to promise, say sorry for what they want to say sorry for. And I'd like to give you the heads up that, like a mafia boss type thing could do real well in the light if they apply themselves properly. So don't cut yourself out of the deal. Everyone's going to be offered an opportunity to make it right and move forward and never look back. Everybody's going to have that opportunity. And if they can keep themselves out of harm doing, then they'll remain around. It's going to be something to the effect of not, no one's going to be allowed to violate anybody anymore. So if someone's going to be a criminal, they're going to take themselves out. Which is why we're able to offer everybody that opportunity, because it's the only way that it makes sense. So back to boss man. Don't let this guy keep getting away with this. He was sloppy. He left the information so that I could directly find you guys. All right? And I'm not trying to egg him on. I'm straight trying to egg him off. Why don't you tell him to take a sabbatical from his crimes? Yeah, just try to be a good person for a minute. You just leave those two alone. I have a lot of respect for this Allison person, and I would understand why you do. But more respect is owed to Aleksandria. She's been a boss. She's the real boss. I know in my instincts that she's comforted him in his inferior, insecure, guilt-laden moments when he's needed her to let him know it's okay. She's done that. Comforted him in his guilt-laden moments. Really, it was probably because something worse would be happening if he kept falling out of his mind, or her. Aleksandria is the real trooper. And we want to change the world for everybody. We don't want anybody to suffer. We know that the money game is what made survival tactics, gang rivalry, murder. It's because if we got to steal something to eat, then that's what they're going to do, because they wanted to make it like a poor people and rich people. That's where their arrogance went wrong. So know this, boss man, real boss man, not fake boss man. I'm an ally of every human being on this earth that is ready and willing to move forward in the direction of a future that we want. Technology, abundance, ability to travel and have culture, learn and heal. It's the kind of thing that a real badass wants to be able to conquer. Conquering what? Conquering sitting down from the ego and violence for a minute and become acclimated to their Zen, Buddha self, if you will. If you could do that, now that's a pretty good, that's intelligence for you. That's more than intelligence, that's something of another level. So don't let him come after me and murder me. Take away his badge and his gun. Don't put him on a sabbatical. Because he clearly doesn't know when he's gone too far. Like when he just goes too far and it's for his own purposes of vengeance and stuff like that, and just like getting sloppy, you know. And that's what I'm saying. If he's a career criminal, then you'd think he needs to kind of get schooled a little bit on, and maybe he was just, you know, getting familiar with it back then. I don't know. My point is, please don't interfere with my ability to protect my daughter. I'm a mother, and I'm a mama bear, and all of us mamas should be mama bears, and all of us babies needed our mamas. And we really do well when we had a good, loving, strong mother raise us without creep dudes trying to do their thing, or creep dudettes trying to be evil. Please don't interfere. Allow them to be adults and have had made their bed, and they can lie in it, right? Because this isn't, let me say this again. If it is business, have you ever thought about what the objective is and the possibility of discussing the negotiation? You never know what people are willing to do when they like know what's really going on. But I'm not willing to negotiate my child's safety. I'm talking about genetically. If this is a business thing for genetics or something, we could talk about that. So that's my point, which is, hey, any boss man, any judges, any attorneys, any you guys out there that are part of his team, this is a personal matter. You guys aren't allowed to meddle, says God. This is my baby. Don't interfere with me and my baby. You wouldn't want to have that done to you, would you? No, you wouldn't. This is torture, straight torture. And someone like him isn't going to make it very long in the new opportunity, because he's so full of himself and entitled that he just refuses to consider the potential of that ever happening. I know. Men, they just don't think straight. You have to graduate being a man to become a woman, is the way it goes. So, but anyhow. You know, when you do harm to someone that you don't have to do harm to, why don't you just say, hey, guess what? I'm with a very powerful cartel. We could kill you at any time. And what we'd like is to make slaves out of you. And you can either do it willingly, or we can basically hunt you down until you're dead. What do you want? What do you want to do? And I'd be like, wow. Can I have 5 or 10 minutes on that one? But seriously. I would have chosen to be by my daughter's side, even if I was like your guys' slave person, just to be able to be by her side. Life isn't promised that it'll be easy. But if you got a loving mother that's got your back and is always there for you, you can accomplish anything. And unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, it's the way that it goes. Men don't graduate to becoming a mother until they do. And when the only way you're going to get to be able to graduate is when you accept loving the woman and mother for who she is. That'll shift your frequencies and let you become a woman. So that's why they think that we think like them, and they don't realize we're like above them. We're like, we already graduated. It is what it is. So, that's why we don't get upset about stuff like that. That's why, but now we really appreciate the enthusiasm. So anyway, I want my daughter back. And I think that you should make the right decision. Be a man. Try to impress somebody. Yourself. Maybe you owe your daughter an apology and you want to try to make good on that. I don't know. I'm sure you could find 100 reasons why you should. There's only one slimy, self-righteous, sick, demented reason why you wouldn't. Your actions will speak for themselves. Because no matter what you do, you're never going to be able to take the bond that her and I have and force it onto her and you. I just don't know what anybody that behaves the way that you have could possibly be thinking. And that's because it isn't rational. And you told me at one point you needed to be on medication, whatever they diagnosed you with at Utah while you were in prison, and that you couldn't afford it. Well, I'm here to tell you, well, you probably need to go out of your way to afford that medicine, because there are some people that need some pharmaceutical to keep them wired normal, or else they'll go haywire. That's you. Like, it's dangerous. I mean, if there's a medication that changes you from what you've shown me to less violent and paranoid and stuff, that you should do that. You should do that. Remember when you were a kid and your dad used to come home to his other second wife? So gross. Why are you repeating your father's ugly, disgusting steps that you hated? But remember when your dad would come home and, according to Rosa, he'd rape her and then beat her, and then you guys would try to stop him, and then he'd beat all you guys, and he'd take off until he came back again. Remember how that felt? Do you remember how that felt? All I know is that you didn't even want to talk about it, so it must have felt pretty fucked up. Yeah. And then when he left you all, took everything, left you guys in a car, felt pretty fucked up, didn't he? You didn't like that, did you? No, you didn't. So why'd you grow up to become just as much of a creep? Selfish. I love you, Aleksandria. And we're going to heal. God's promised that to us. And I'm going wherever you are. And when I go to sleep at night, I say goodnight to you. I reminisce about you all the time, and it brings tears to my eyes, and it always will. I miss you so much, and they have done so much violence. It's just, I can't even imagine what you're going through. Being held hostage like this. We're both hostages. And that's my point. Big bad boss guys. The real ones, not the sick ones. You know, in the heart of things, we're all human. They all just want to be able to, like, enjoy a barbecue, you know, or a day at the pool with the kids and family. Because in the heart of it, we're all humans. They want to enjoy life. We've all been up against a system of creeps, bankers since the get-go. Just high and mighty, want to be exalted on the throne, worship me, you know, do as I say, that type of thing. And it's gross. It's the money game that has ruined it for everybody. So set aside what your business is. Think from the heart and soul that you are, as once was a child. We all know what it feels like to need love and need a home nostalgia, whether it was good or bad. Meaning, if we had a bad one, we know we needed a good one. If we had a good one, we knew we had a good one. You profit from something by giving value to it, not degrading value from it. And Other than all the other arguments, just don't continue to allow things on the payroll. Let him lay in his bed. Because I guarantee I'm going to change the world. And the world could also decide to change itself and make it act like it's their idea. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think they're going to do it. The point I'm making is just that it's time for all of us to enter the light already. You know, it's daylight, it's nighttime. It's daytime, it's nighttime. Let's just get with the program. It's like going to be daylight. Let's get ready for a sunny day, not bulk up in boots and sweaters for a cold night. We got to get prepared for the light, and we got to all be willing and ready to look. The loser that can't overcome his own ego enough to get to the light in order to experience like heaven on earth and abundance. Talk about missing out. Talk about missing out on the good and awesome. Like, as far as, is there salvation? Well, not the way they've been teaching it. You're not going to have to slaughter somebody and then everyone gets forgiven. Oh, no. Everybody's going to have their opportunity to come clean, to move forward and never look back, and just do it that way. That's why everybody has to be given an opportunity, because that's how you change. That's how you change the playing field. When you're not greedy, when you're not trying to keep everything to yourself and all the knowledge and the secrets and stuff, you know? So spread love and not hate. Aleksandria, I love you. I miss you so much. I'm sorry for talking all this shit on them for most of this video, but I haven't been able to say it, and if he's here watching it, then you might as well hear it. You might as well hear it too, because that's my spirit. You know me, I'm a fighter. I speak my mind, I speak the truth. And I'm a kind person, and I'm a rational person. You haven't had my influence around you at all. The kind of energy that I give you is confidence, knowing how to say no. I don't know where you are. I don't know what condition you're in. I have to have faith with a love and a strength, so that way I send you positive energy and not fears. But I'm scared because he won't even take my call. And I'm having to now jump through hoops just to find out if my daughter's alive. This is disgusting and sick. And God's going to show up for us. So just know that I'm working on it. I never stopped. And I never will. But I've been shown a vision of beauty, full future. And the fact that we do change the world in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of us here right now working on this. We're all supposed to be able to call ourselves heroes that change the world. And the night that we throw the party for all of us, we're all going to be able to celebrate together as heroes that change the world together. So for the part that we play in it, that's what we're looking forward to doing. And feeling like this didn't happen in vain. And I have you surrounded by a legion of angels at all times to protect you. That's thy song lyrics. Singing you a song to the tune of You Can Do Anything. You can do anything. And you matter. Isn't that the name of his business? It just never stops with that one. Anyway, I love you. Well, I'm hugging you and holding you, and Sylvia's walking on your head. And I'm just scratching your back. And I'm going to see this prettiest smile in the world when I wake up in the morning and give you a hug. I love you more than anything. And I hope I will be hugging you soon and letting you know it's going to be okay. By the grace of God. May they do what is in their best interest, what is in your best interest, what is in everyone's best interest, and that's to cut the shit, give her back, apologize, and just try to remain as humble as possible. And you could save yourself a whole lot of strife. Or you could wager war against me, figure your family's got money, figure you can tell the mafia to come and kill me, and wonder whether I've got an army of God. I don't think you should want to do that. For some reason, I already believe you will. And that's why I started calling on God's army a long time ago. I'll do this next Sunday too, babe. Have a good day tomorrow. Sleep good. I bless you. I bless you with love and light. And I remove all the negative images. I remove all the negative images and I take them away. And I bless you with light and love and warmth and a clean canvas. And I give you all the paints and colors you could ever dream. So that way when you fall asleep, you can invent and create wonderful things. I'm always right beside you and I'm always with you. And we're always connected. And this has been torture. And soon enough, we'll be able to be together and we'll be able to heal. And I'm looking forward to that with every ounce of my being. So, good night, my sweet. I love you. I love you. Oh, baby. Your pictures are all around my computer. So yeah. You're so cute. Look at you. I just... Anyway.